My name is James.
And I'm Nicole. Welcome back to our channel, Imperfect Awakening. Hey honey, are you hungry?
I'm always hungry.
Good. So for today, I'm going to show everyone how we make our vegan breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What? All three?
Yes.
Alright, that sounds exciting.
I know this is going to be a great video. I hope you like food. Because we do.
I do.
Alright, ready to get started?
Yes.
I got everything ready. Alright, let's go.
Alright, let's go.
Hey everybody. So we're going to start off with our breakfast recipe. So it's going to be our vegan chia pudding. And I have all the ingredients laid out here. But before we start, I think it's best, well, from what we've used, is to use a mason jar for your chia pudding. So that way it's good for the environment and it's also, you know, nice and clean every time you use it. So this breakfast is really great for people on the go or people who, you know, just eat at home. Either way, it's a great breakfast and I think it's really delicious and it's probably my favorite vegan breakfast. So we're going to start this recipe and it's going to be good. First, I like to add, this is non-dairy milk. So this is actually almost 1 cup of almond milk. You can use almond milk, you can use coconut milk, you can use hemp milk, whatever non-dairy milk you have. So this is going to go in here first. Alright. And then next, I like to add our main ingredient here. This is 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. Alright, so our 3 tablespoons of chia seeds is going to go into this milk. Like so. Alright. Next, I'll probably put these powders next. So this powder is hemp protein powder. You can also use hemp powder or hemp seeds. We're just trying to get as much nutrients as we can in this little jar. So I'm going to add this hemp protein powder. This is about a teaspoon. So we're going to add this in here. Don't worry, you can't even taste it. And then this is 1 tablespoon of plant-based protein powder. I think it also comes in different flavors. So this one is vanilla. They have chocolate. I think they even have like a neutral flavor, but I like vanilla, so we're gonna put that in there. All right. So those are the main ingredients that we have, and we're gonna add some other things. So you can also add whatever you want. You can make this recipe your own. So for me, I personally like to add berries. So these are frozen berries that we buy. And they can be frozen. They don't have to be frozen. Doesn't matter. Just put the berries in here. This is a 1/2 cup actually of these berries. You can put whatever fruit you want. So after that, I also like to put nuts. So you can use whatever nuts you want. It doesn't have to be this. We use mixed nuts. So almonds, walnuts, cashews, whatever you want. So we're gonna add that in here. Gives a nice little crunch. And then I also like to put some kind of dried berries. So this is the first time I've actually heard of these. These are mulberries, but they're delicious. And I'm just gonna add like I don't know, it's a pinch or like a little handful. I'm gonna put it in here. You can use cranberries, raisins, whatever you want. And then for just a little added sweetness, you can either use this agave, or you can also use maple syrup. So it's not really a measurement. I just kind of drizzle some, so that's probably about it. And now we just need our top. So put that on. And to make sure everything's mixed up, you shake it. Our little nice arm workout that you get. So this is the nice beautiful color that you get because of the berries. And this chia pudding will need to sit. I usually do these the night before because right now it looks really liquidy, but the chia seeds will absorb the liquid and it'll become more like a pudding. So I do a couple of these and then I'll put them all in the fridge, and then the next morning I'll put one in my lunchbox, and then when I get to work, then I'll eat it at work. So this is our vegan chia pudding recipe. Alright, so next I'm going to show you a recipe using tempeh. Tempeh is actually fermented soybeans, and it has a lot of protein. It has a lot of nutrients that especially people who are vegan can really use. So I'm going to show you this recipe, and we're going to use it in two different ways. One way is for lunch, and then one way is for dinner, but you can switch them however you want. I'm going to cut up this tempeh and then we can get started. Alright, so to start, the recipe that I'm going to be doing is more of a Southwestern recipe for tempeh, and we are going to get a pot. I like to use a pot like this and not like your typical skillet, because when you cut the tempeh into the smaller pieces and you're cooking them, you know, you're using your utensil, and sometimes it can be hard to control the tempeh. So I feel like using a pot like this is really helpful, so that's just what I prefer. But to start, I'm going to turn the heat on to medium heat. So now that your pot is nice and warm, we're going to turn the temperature to low so that whenever we use our oil, it's not going to splatter everywhere. So we're going to start with our olive oil. So this is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to put it in here. So these are the seasonings I like to use for the Southwestern tempeh. So this one over here is chili powder. This one here is cumin. This white powder is onion powder. And this is garlic powder. So these are all 1/2 teaspoon of each seasoning measured out. So now that we have that measured, we're going to add it to our oil. Right. So now we're going to turn the heat back up to 4, which is close to medium low. And what we're going to do, so for tempeh, in order for it to have flavor, you have to use like an oil paste kind of mixed with these seasonings. So I'm going to move the seasoning around and kind of create a paste. So as you can see, this is like kind of a dark orange red paste. Kind of liquidy, but this is going to help to coat the tempeh with that nice, delicious chili powder and cumin Southwestern flavor. So that's what it's going to look like. And then we're going to add our tempeh that we cut earlier. So now we're going to add that into our paste. Around. Look how it's nicely coating everything. That's a nice color. So it is nice that whenever you're using like a lot of things like tempeh or tofu, there's not a specific like time that you have to cook the tempeh or tofu, because it's based off of soybeans. So you know how we use beef or chicken, you have to have it at a certain temperature. That's not the case with this. So next we're going to add our vegetables that we have. So first I cut up a red bell pepper. This is going to go into our tempeh. Right, so now we're going to use tempeh in a way that we do every week. So we take, they're like salads, I guess you could say, but mixed with rice and beans and different things that we like to eat. So I'm going to show you our recipe. I did pre-make a lot of this, so you know, use a recipe to make beans and use a recipe to make rice. Tempeh I just showed you, and these other things we just got from the store, so like mushrooms and spinach or whatever greens that you like to eat. So I can do a future video on how we make our rice and beans, but for now this was pre-made. It's really easy. You just pre-make it on the weekends, throw it in the fridge, and it's good, you know, throughout the week. So that's really helpful. So I'm going to start with the bowl that we use. This is our bowl that we use for our lunch. At the bottom, I like to add rice. So this is brown rice. This is actually, I believe, short grain, whatever rice you want to use. We've tried wild rice. We've tried long grain brown rice. It's all good. My favorite, I think, is wild rice. So I'm just putting enough to kind of coat the bottom, because again, this is going to be for lunch and you don't want to get too hungry, so I like to add a fair amount of rice. Right. So this is the amount of rice that I like to put in the bottom of the bowl. And next we can add some beans. So I'll just take maybe 2 spoons of beans. You know, this is our Southwest Tempeh, so beans are a good addition. And then next I'm gonna add our greens. So here's my little greens. Don't be shy, put as much greens as you want. Just stuff it. So I like to add these layers, so it's like when you mix it, you have all these different flavors, and it tastes delicious. So after we add our greens, now we're gonna add our freshly cooked tempeh. We're gonna add that on top for a nice Southwestern flavor. Get some nice protein in our lunch. Ooh, that looks good. And we're gonna put some mushrooms on top. I like some mushrooms. And that's pretty much our lunch. That's our vegan lunch. And just like a little tip, especially for, you know, if you're making this, pre-making this, if you're going to work. A lot of times when we've made salads, they get soggy and I can't stand that. Like, who likes soggy salad? So my little trick that I learned is you take a paper towel, fold it in half, and after you've made the salad, you just put it on top. So it will absorb any of the moisture that gets in your salad. So all you do, just put the top on, and it's ready to refrigerate. So for your salad, so now that that's done, you can also include like a vegan dressing. So for us, we make our own dressing, and I'll also do another video on that later. And that's what we have for lunch during the week, and it's delicious. All right, so now we're going to talk about dinner. So again, we're going to use our tempeh. So I think this is a great way to either use leftovers or to use what you've made in multiple ways. So we're going to use our Southwest Tempeh. So we're going to start off with corn tortillas. We're going to add some greens to it because you can't have enough greens. I'm going to put that nicely through the middle. Okay. Then we're going to take our tempeh that we just made, and we're going to kind of use it like a filling, like a meat filling. We're going to put it in the middle with all those veggies. Looks good. And gonna get the rest of it. Okay. And then we do like to have vegan cheese, and we have found a vegan cheese that we really like. So we like to use this vegan cheese. We get this from H-E-B. It's actually, I mean, it's expensive, but it's worth it because it tastes so good. I just like to sprinkle some cheese on top. And I mean, all these recipes are super easy when you pre-made everything, so that's really helpful. All right. And then the little kicker I like to put on top, sriracha sauce. You know, a few dots here and there, because this is red jalapeno and habanero. So, and these are the tacos that we love to eat. If it's not tempeh, it's tofu. If it's not tofu, it's portobello mushrooms. There's all different kinds of ways to make tacos. We love tacos. So in addition to this, we'll usually have rice and beans, but as of now, we're out of beans. So we're just gonna have a side salad with some rice. And then if you don't want to have tempeh or tofu or mushrooms, you can actually put rice in your taco. You know, I guess it's just kind of that texture. So there's our rice. And our little salad we're gonna have on the side here. And there you go. This is our super easy Southwestern tempeh tacos with rice and side salad.
Wow, this was great. This was amazing. Thank you, honey.
Welcome.
If you enjoyed watching the video, if you enjoyed watching what we eat on a weekly basis, of course, you know, my wife made it. It was great. I encourage you to make this food like right away. You won't regret it. So if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. Please like this video and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you. Bye.